Rocky Balboa is walking home from the gym at 11:30 p.m. when 6 men step out of the shadows blocking his path. The leader, a man with a scar across his face, says, "Champ, this neighborhood has a tax. You owe us $10,000. Pay up or pay the price." What happens in the next 3 minutes leaves Rocky beaten and bleeding in an alley. What happens 72 hours later leaves those 6 men wishing they'd never heard the name Rocky Balboa. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. August 1978. Thursday night. 11:28 p.m. Rocky's walking home from Mighty Mick's gym. 3-hour training session. His body is exhausted. Muscles sore. Joints aching. He's carrying a gym bag over his shoulder. Wearing gray sweatpants. Hooded sweatshirt. Hands wrapped in tape. He's taking his usual route. Through South Philly. Through his neighborhood. The streets he grew up on. Streets he knows by heart. The neighborhood's changed in the last few years. Gotten rougher. More dangerous. Drugs have moved in. Gangs have formed. Turf wars. Violence. Things Rocky remembers from his youth, but worse now. More organized. More brutal. The old neighborhood code, you don't mess with civilians, you don't target families, that's gone. Now everyone's a target. Everyone's a potential victim. Everyone pays or everyone bleeds. Rocky's heard the stories. About businesses being shaken down. About residents being robbed. About people who refuse to pay ending up in the hospital. Or worse. But Rocky figured he was different. Figured being the heavyweight champion meant something. Meant protection. Meant respect. Figured nobody would be stupid enough to mess with Rocky Balboa. He figured wrong. Rocky's walking down Tasker Street. Dark street. Streetlights broken. Half the buildings abandoned. The other half occupied by people who can't afford to leave. Rocky's almost home. 2 more blocks. His apartment is on Mifflin Street. Where Adrian and the kids are waiting. Where warmth and safety and family exist. Just 2 more blocks. Then 6 men step out. 3 from an alley on the left. 3 from shadows on the right. Surrounding Rocky. Cutting off his path forward and back. 6 men. All wearing dark clothes. Leather jackets. Heavy boots. 2 have chains hanging from their belts. 1 has a bat. Baseball bat. Wood. Heavy. They're not trying to hide their weapons. Want Rocky to see them. Want him to understand the threat. Rocky stops. Sets his gym bag down slowly. Assesses. 6 against 1. All younger than him. Mid-20s. Strong. Street hardened. Not gym muscles. Real muscles. From fighting. From surviving. From doing violence. Rocky's fought a lot of people. But always in a ring. With rules. With a referee. This is different. This is the street. No rules. No referee. No bell to save you. The man in the middle steps forward. He's the leader. You can tell by how the others defer to him. How they wait for his signal. He's maybe 27. 6 feet tall. 200 pounds. Muscular but lean. Dangerous lean. A scar runs from his left eyebrow down across his cheek. Old scar. Long healed. From a knife probably. His eyes are cold. Empty. The eyes of someone who's done bad things and stopped caring. The man says, "Rocky Balboa. The champ. We've been waiting for you." Rocky says calmly, "I don't want trouble." The man laughs. Cold laugh. Says, nobody wants trouble. But trouble don't care what you want. Trouble comes anyway. He looks Rocky up and down. Taking in the gym clothes. The tired posture. The wrapped hands. Says, you know who I am? No. Name's Vince Carlucci. I run this neighborhood. Every business. Every corner. Every street. All of it belongs to me. And everyone who lives here, who works here, who makes money here, they pay me. Protection money. Neighborhood tax. Whatever you want to call it. They pay or they regret it. Rocky says, I don't live here. Just walking through. Vince smiles. Yeah, you do. You live on Mifflin Street. 2 blocks that way. Wife named Adrian. 2 kids. Brandon and Shannon. You train at Mickey's gym. You run every morning at 5 a.m. You shop at Donnie's Market on Wednesdays. I know everything about you, champ. Know your whole life. Know your routine. Know where you're vulnerable. The threat is clear. This isn't just about Rocky. It's about his family. About everyone he cares about. Rocky's jaw tightens. Says, what do you want? I want what everyone else pays. $10,000. Per month. You're the heavyweight champion. You got money. You can afford it. Rocky says, and if I don't pay? Vince's smile disappears. Then we teach you what happens when people don't respect the neighborhood tax. We make an example. Make sure everyone else sees what happens when you say no. Rocky looks at the 6 men. Calculates. He's tired. Been training for 3 hours. His body's depleted. His hands are sore. And it's 6 against 1. 6 men with weapons. With backup. With nothing to lose. Rocky's smart enough to know this is a fight he might not win. Not tonight. Not like this. But Rocky also knows something else. Knows that paying once means paying forever. Means becoming a victim. Means accepting that he's weak. That he's prey. And Rocky Balboa doesn't pray for anyone. Rocky says, I ain't paying. Vince's eyes narrow. What? I said I ain't paying. Not 10,000. Not $10. Not nothing. I earned my money. It's mine. And you ain't taking it. Vince looks at his crew. Looks back at Rocky. Says, you sure about that, champ? You sure you want to do this the hard way? I'm sure. Vince nods. Okay. Boys, teach the champ some respect. It happens fast. The 6 men move as one. Coordinated. Practiced. This isn't their first time. They know how to work together. How to overwhelm someone. 2 men grab Rocky's arms from behind. Pinning them. Rocky tries to break free, but they're strong. And fresh. And ready. A 3rd man steps in front. Throws a punch to Rocky's stomach. Hard. Deep. Rocky's breath exits. His knees buckle. But the men holding him keep him upright. Keep him vulnerable. Another punch. To the ribs. Rocky feels something crack. Not broken. But damaged. The pain is sharp. Immediate. Another punch. To the face. Rocky's head snaps back. His lip splits. Blood fills his mouth. Warm. Metallic. He spits it out. Tries to break free again. Can't. They're too strong. Too organized. The man with the bat steps forward. Vince says, just the legs. We want him to remember this. Want him to feel it every time he walks. The bat swings. Catches Rocky's right thigh. The pain explodes. White hot. Overwhelming. Rocky's leg gives out. Only the men holding him keep him from falling. Another swing. Left thigh this time. Same result. Same pain. Rocky's legs are useless now. Can't support his weight. Can't run. Can't fight back effectively. Vince walks over. Kneels down to eye level with Rocky. Says, "This is what happens when you say no. This is the easy lesson. The warning. Next time, we don't stop at your legs. Next time, we go to your family. Your wife. Your kids. We make sure you understand that in this neighborhood, you pay or everyone you love pays worse. You got 72 hours to come up with $10,000. You don't? We come back. And we finish what we started." Vince stands. Signals his crew. They drop Rocky. He collapses on the sidewalk. Can't stand. His legs won't work. The 6 men walk away. Laughing. Joking. Like they just finished a regular day's work. Like beating a man half to death is routine. Normal. Just business. Rocky lies there. Alone. In pain. Blood running from his mouth and nose. His legs throbbing. His ribs screaming. He tries to stand. Falls. Tries again. Falls again. Finally, he crawls. Pulls himself along the sidewalk. One hand over the other. Dragging his useless legs. 2 blocks never felt so long. 2 blocks of humiliation. Of pain. Of understanding that the heavyweight champion of the world just got beaten by street thugs. Just got made into a victim. He reaches his building. Pulls himself up the steps. One at a time. Using his arms. His legs barely functioning. He reaches his door. Pounds on it. Can't reach his keys. Can't stand long enough to unlock it. Adrian opens the door. Sees Rocky. Her hand goes to her mouth. Shock. Horror. She says, "Oh my God. Rocky, what happened?" Rocky collapses inside. Says through broken lips, "Help me." Adrian gets him to the couch. Calls Mickey. Mickey arrives 20 minutes later. Takes one look at Rocky. Says, "Who did this?" Rocky tells them. About Vince Carlucci. About the 6 men. About the demand for money. About the beating. About the threat against his family. Mickey's face gets red. Angry. Says, "We call the cops. We report this. Get these animals arrested." Rocky shakes his head. "No cops. Rock, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna come back in 72 hours and finish what they started. We need police protection. We need. No cops." Rocky's voice is stronger now. Firmer. "Cops can't protect us. Can't be here 24/7. Can't watch the kids. Can't watch Adrian. And even if they arrest Vince, his crew comes back. Takes revenge. Makes it worse. No cops. I handle this my way." Adrian says, "Your way? Rocky, look at you. You can barely walk. Your ribs are broken. Your face is destroyed. How are you going to handle 6 men by yourself?" Rocky looks at her. His eyes are clear despite the swelling. Despite the pain. He says, "I don't know yet. But I will. I ain't letting them win. Ain't letting them take from my family. Ain't letting them make me scared in my own neighborhood. I'll figure it out. Just give me time. Mickey says, you got 72 hours. Then I got 72 hours to get ready. The next morning, Rocky can barely move. His legs are swollen. Purple. Bruised from hip to knee. His ribs make breathing painful. His face is a mess. Cut lip. Black eye. Swollen jaw. He looks in the mirror and sees what he's become. A victim. A target. Someone who got beaten and couldn't fight back. The image makes him sick. Makes him angry. Not at Vince and his crew. At himself. For being unprepared. For being vulnerable. For letting it happen. But anger without action is useless. Rocky knows this. So he starts planning. Thinking. Analyzing. What went wrong? Why did he lose? Simple. 6 against 1. They worked together. He was isolated. They were fresh. He was tired. They had weapons. He had nothing. They chose the time and place. He walked into their trap. So the solution is equally simple. Change the variables. Don't fight 6 at once. Fight them separately. Don't be tired. Be ready. Don't be unarmed. Prepare. Don't let them choose when and where. Take control. Make them come to him. On his terms. In his territory. Rocky spends the first day watching. Learning. He can't move well. Can barely walk. But he can sit in his car. Can observe. He parks near the corner where Vince and his crew operate. Watches their patterns. Their routines. Their habits. Takes notes in a small notebook. Who goes where? Who travels alone? Who's always with the group? Finding weaknesses. Finding opportunities. Vince is never alone. Always has at least 3 guys with him. Smart. Protected. But the others aren't as careful. 2 of them, Rocky learns their names are Joey and Marco, they live together. Small apartment on Federal Street. They leave together every morning around 10 a.m. Walk to a diner for breakfast. Just the 2 of them. No backup. No weapons visible. Vulnerable. Another one, Tommy the Hammer Ricci, the one with the baseball bat, he works out at a gym on Oregon Avenue. Goes there every afternoon around 3 p.m. Alone. Works out for an hour. Then walks home through a residential area. Dark streets. Not many people. Isolated. Vulnerable. The other 3 are harder. Always together. Always with Vince. Rocky will deal with them later. First, he takes out the weak links. The ones who are careless. The ones who think being part of Vince's crew makes them untouchable. Day 2. Saturday. Rocky's legs are better. Still sore but functional. His ribs still hurt but he can breathe without sharp pain. His face is healing. Swelling going down. He looks beaten but capable. He's ready. 10 a.m. Rocky follows Joey and Marco. Keeps his distance. Watches them enter the diner. Sit in a booth. Order food. They're laughing. Relaxed. Probably joking about beating up the champ. Probably feeling tough. Feeling invincible. Rocky waits outside. Patient. He's got time. Got 24 hours left before the deadline. Got all the time he needs. Joey and Marco finish eating. Leave the diner. Start walking back toward their apartment. Rocky follows. Waits for the right moment. They turn down an alley. Shortcut. Stupid. Exactly what Rocky was hoping for. The alley is narrow. Brick walls on both sides. Dumpsters. Empty boxes. No witnesses. No cameras. Perfect. Rocky enters the alley behind them. Walks fast. His footsteps echo. Joey and Marco hear. Turn around. See Rocky. Their eyes widen. Surprise. Then confusion. Then fear. Because Rocky's not running away. He's walking toward them. And his eyes. His eyes are different. Not scared. Not uncertain. Certain. Focused. Dangerous. Joey says, "Yo, champ. You here to pay?" Smart move. Vince is gonna. Rocky doesn't let him finish. Closes the distance. Fast. Faster than Joey expected. Rocky's fist connects with Joey's jaw. Perfect right cross. All his weight behind it. All his anger. All his humiliation from 2 nights ago. Joey's head snaps back. His eyes roll up. He drops. Unconscious before he hits the ground. Marco tries to run. Gets 2 steps. Rocky grabs his jacket. Spins him around. Throws him against the brick wall. Marco's head bounces off the bricks. He staggers. Dazed. Rocky doesn't give him time to recover. Body shot. Straight to the solar plexus. Marco's breath exits. His legs buckle. Rocky catches him. Holds him up. Looks him in the eyes. Says, "You tell Vince. Tell him I ain't paying. Tell him I'm coming for all of you. Tell him Rocky Balboa don't run. Don't hide. I fight back." Rocky drops Marco. Leaves both men in the alley. Bleeding. Beaten. Humiliated. Just like they did to him. But Rocky's not done. Not even close. 3 p.m. Rocky's outside the gym on Oregon Avenue. Waiting. Tommy, the Hammer, emerges. Carrying his gym bag. Looking at his phone. Not paying attention. Rocky follows him. Keeps his distance. Tommy walks through residential streets. Taking his usual route home. Predictable. Stupid. Rocky speeds up. Gets within 10 feet. Says, "Hey Tommy." Tommy turns. Sees Rocky. His face goes white. He drops his gym bag. Reaches for something. A knife probably. Rocky doesn't let him draw it. Rushes forward. Tackles Tommy into a parked car. They both go down. Tommy tries to fight. Throws wild punches. Rocky covers. Absorbs them on his arms. Then counters. Measured. Controlled. Hooks to the body. 2. 3. 4. Tommy's trying to protect his head. Leaving his body open. Rocky exploits it. More body shots. Tommy's gasping. Can't breathe. Can't defend. Rocky stands. Pulls Tommy up by his collar. Slams him against the car. Says, "Where's your bat now? Where's your backup? Where's your crew? You ain't so tough when it's one-on-one. When the other guy can fight back." Rocky headbutts him. Not hard enough to do permanent damage. Hard enough to send a message. Tommy's nose breaks. Blood everywhere. Rocky drops him. Walks away. By evening, word has spread. Joey, Marco, and Tommy all beaten. All humiliated. All sent to the hospital. Vince hears about it. Can't believe it. The champ actually fought back. Actually came for his crew. Vince is angry. But also impressed. Rocky Balboa's got more heart than Vince gave him credit for. But heart don't matter. Vince still has numbers. Still has power. Still has control. Vince makes a call. Rounds up his remaining crew. Plus reinforcements. Total of 9 men now. He's not taking chances. Not underestimating Rocky again. They're going to Rocky's apartment. Going to end this. Tonight. Before the 72 hours are even up. Going to teach Rocky that you don't mess with Vince Carlucci. Ever. 11 p.m. Rocky's home. Adrian and the kids are at her parents' house. Rocky sent them there yesterday. Knew this was coming. Knew Vince would respond. Knew violence was inevitable. Rocky's alone. Waiting. The apartment is dark. TV off. Lights off. Just Rocky sitting in a chair. In the dark. Waiting. His hands are wrapped. Not with tape. With modified boxing wraps. Reinforced. He's wearing jeans. Boots. Tank top. Ready for war. He hears them coming. Heavy footsteps on the stairs. Multiple people. 9 sets of footsteps. More than Rocky expected. But not more than he can handle. The door explodes inward. Kicked off its hinges. 9 men pour in. Flashlights cutting through darkness. Looking for Rocky. Vince says, "Lights." Someone flips the switch. Nothing. Rocky cut the power. Darkness remains. Only the flashlights. Creating shadows. Creating confusion. Rocky knows this apartment. Knows every corner. Every obstacle. Every advantage. The 9 men don't. They're invaders. On Rocky's territory now. On his terms. Rocky moves. Silent. Fast. Comes out of the shadows. Grabs the nearest man. The one with the flashlight. Throws him into 2 others. They all go down. Flashlights scatter. More darkness. More confusion. Voices yelling. "Where is he? I can't see. Watch your back." Rocky circles. Picks them off. One by one. A punch here. A kick there. Using the darkness. Using their confusion. Using his knowledge of the space. One man tries to grab him. Rocky slips. Counters. Uppercut to the jaw. The man drops. Another comes at him with a pipe. Rocky dodges. The pipe hits the wall. Sparks. Rocky grabs the man's arm. Twists. The pipe drops. Rocky uses it. Strikes the man's knee. He goes down screaming. Vince is yelling. Everyone out. Back to the hallway. Regroup. The remaining men retreat. Back to the hallway. Back to light. Back to where they can see. 7 left standing. 2 down inside. Rocky lets them go. Doesn't pursue. Waits. In the darkness. Catching his breath. Assessing. His ribs hurt. The old injury from the first beating aggravated. But functional. His hands hurt. Old damage acting up. But functional. He's okay. He's surviving. He's winning. Vince is furious. Humiliated. He brought 9 men to beat up 1. And Rocky's picking them apart. Vince says, "We go in together. All at once. Overwhelm him. Don't separate. Don't chase. Just advance as one. The 7 men form a line. Shoulder to shoulder. They enter the apartment together. Moving as a unit. Smart. Harder to isolate them. But also slower. More predictable. Rocky waits until they're all inside. Until they're committed. Then he hits the lights. The backup lights he installed yesterday. Emergency lights. Bright. Blinding. Pointed at the doorway. The 7 men are temporarily blinded. Hands to their eyes. Trying to adjust. Rocky attacks. Not from the front. From the side. Where they can't see. Can't respond. He takes out 2 before they know he's there. 1 punch each. Clean. Efficient. They drop. 5 left. They turn. Try to face him. Rocky's already moving. Circling. Forcing them to turn. To lose formation. To separate. 1 man lunges. Rocky sidesteps. Grabs him. Uses his momentum. Throws him into the other 4. They stumble. Rocky presses advantage. Wades in. Throws combinations. Left hook. Right cross. Left uppercut. Fighting like he fights in the ring. But without rules. Without restraint. Every punch has bad intentions. Every strike is meant to end the fight. To protect his family. To protect his home. 3 men down. 2 standing. Plus Vince. Vince finally understands. Understands he underestimated Rocky. Understands this isn't about money anymore. This is about respect. About territory. About proving you can't bully a fighter. Can't intimidate someone who's spent their life refusing to quit. Vince pulls a knife. 8-inch blade. Says to his last 2 men, "We end this now. All 3 of us. Together." They advance. Carefully. Knife leading. The 2 men flanking. Rocky backs up. Not scared. Tactical. Letting them come to him. Letting them commit. The knife strikes. Rocky dodges. Barely. The blade passes an inch from his face. Close. Too close. Rocky counters. Grabs Vince's wrist. The wrist holding the knife. Twists. Hard. Vince screams. The knife drops. Rocky kicks it away. Headbutts Vince. Vince stumbles back. Dazed. The 2 remaining men attack. Both at once. 1 high. 1 low. Trying to overwhelm Rocky. Trying to take him down. Rocky absorbs the high attack. Takes the punch on his shoulder. Blocks the low attack. Lifts his knee. The man's fist hits Rocky's knee. Bones crunch. Not Rocky's bones. The attacker's bones. He screams. Pulls back his broken hand. Rocky turns to the other. Throws a combination. Jab. Cross. Hook. Uppercut. 4 punches in 2 seconds. All land clean. The man's knees buckle. He tries to stay up. Willpower fighting physics. Physics wins. He collapses. Only Vince remains. Standing. Bleeding from his nose. Eyes wild. Desperate. He says, "You don't know who you're messing with. I got connections. I got backup. This ain't over." Rocky walks toward him. Slow. Deliberate. Says, "Yeah, it is. It's over. You came to my neighborhood. demanded my money, beat me in the street, threatened my family. Now you pay the price. Now you learn what happens when you mess with someone who don't quit. Vince tries to run. Gets to the door. Rocky grabs him. Spins him around. One punch. Straight to the jaw. All of Rocky's weight behind it. All his anger. All his need to end this. To protect his family. To reclaim his neighborhood. Vince's head snaps back. His eyes roll up. He drops. Unconscious. Finished. Rocky looks around his apartment. 9 men lying on the floor. Some unconscious. Some groaning. Some trying to crawl away. All beaten. All defeated. Rocky's breathing hard. Exhausted. His body screaming. But he's standing. He won. Protected his home. Protected his family. Proved you can't bully Rocky Balboa. Rocky calls Mickey. Says, "It's done. Send the cops now. Tell them there was a break-in. Multiple intruders. I defended my home. Police arrive. Paramedics. The scene is chaos. 9 men being treated. Being arrested. Rocky gives his statement. Self-defense. Multiple intruders. Feared for his life. The evidence supports it. Broken door. Weapons found. Rocky's injuries consistent with his story. The 9 men are arrested. Charged with home invasion. Attempted robbery. Assault. Vince Carlucci is charged with leading a criminal enterprise. The DA wants to make an example. Wants to clean up the neighborhood. Rocky just handed them the perfect case. 3 days later. Rocky's healing. Ribs wrapped. Face healing. Legs still sore but functional. He's home. Adrian and the kids are back. Safe. Together. Adrian asks, "Is it really over?" Rocky says, "Yeah." Vince is looking at 20 years. His crew's scattered. Some are arrested. Some left the neighborhood. Word got out. Don't mess with Rocky Balboa. Don't threaten his family. Don't think being the champ makes him soft. It makes him dangerous. Because he's got nothing to prove in a ring. But he's got everything to protect at home. And he'll do whatever it takes. Adrian hugs him. Says, "I was so scared. Scared they'd hurt you. Kill you. Take you from us." Rocky holds her. Says, "They tried. But I ain't going nowhere. I fought my whole life to get here. To have this family. This home. This life. And I'll fight just as hard to keep it. Anyone who threatens what's mine, they're gonna learn the same lesson Vince learned. You can knock Rocky Balboa down. But he always gets back up. And when he does, you better hope you're not the one who knocked him down." Word spreads through South Philadelphia. About the night Rocky Balboa fought 9 men in his apartment. About how he took them all down. About how the heavyweight champion defended his home like a warrior. The story gets embellished. Exaggerated. 9 men becomes 12. Then 15. The details change. But the core remains. Rocky Balboa is not to be messed with. Not in a ring. Not in the street. Not ever. Small businesses that were being extorted feel safer. Residents who were living in fear feel protected. The neighborhood starts healing. Starts recovering. Because one man stood up. One man refused to be a victim. One man showed that courage isn't about never being afraid. It's about being afraid and standing up anyway. Months later, a reporter asks Rocky about that night. About the home invasion. About fighting 9 men alone. Rocky says, I didn't want to fight them. Wanted to pay them and make it go away. But that ain't how the world works. You pay once, you pay forever. You become a victim, you stay a victim. So I fought back. Not because I'm brave. Because I'm stubborn. Because I got a family to protect. And ain't nobody gonna threaten my family and walk away. Nobody. The reporter asks, were you scared? Rocky pauses. Then says honestly, terrified. When 6 men jumped me the first time, when they beat me in the street, I was terrified. Not of the pain. Of failing. Of not being able to protect Adrian and the kids. Of being too weak to matter. But being scared don't mean you quit. Being scared means you're human. What you do with that fear, that's what defines you. And I chose to fight through it. Chose to face it. Chose to win despite it. What would you say to someone facing a similar situation? Someone being bullied or extorted? Rocky thinks. Says, I'd say don't be a hero. Don't try to be me. Call the cops. Get help. Protect yourself the smart way. But if you got no choice, if your back's against the wall, if it's fight or lose everything, then fight. Fight with everything you got. Don't worry about winning pretty. Don't worry about rules. Just survive. Just protect what's yours. And don't quit. Ever. Because the people trying to hurt you, they're expecting you to quit. Expecting you to fold. Expecting you to be easy. Don't be easy. Make them pay for every inch. Make them regret choosing you. Make them remember that some people don't quit. Some people fight back. Be one of those people. The interview ends. Rocky goes home. To Adrian. To his kids. To his life. The life he built. The life he fought for. The life he defended. Not with words. With action. With courage. With the stubborn refusal to let anyone take what's his. And in South Philadelphia, on the streets where Rocky grew up, where he fought his way out, where he became champion, there's a new understanding. A new respect. You can challenge Rocky Balboa in a ring. With rules. With referees. With fair play. But you don't challenge him in his neighborhood. You don't threaten his family. You don't try to take what he earned. Because if you do, you'll learn the same lesson Vince Carlucci and his crew learned. You'll learn that Rocky Balboa doesn't just fight in rings. He fights for what matters. And when Rocky Balboa fights for what matters, he doesn't lose. Ever. Who's trying to take from you? Who's bullying you? Who's threatening what you've built? And more importantly, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to pay? Are you going to fold? Are you going to become a victim? Or are you going to do what Rocky did? Are you going to stand up? Are you going to fight back? Are you going to prove that some people can't be bullied, can't be intimidated, can't be made into victims no matter how hard you try? That's the choice. That's always the choice. And Rocky Balboa made his. In an alley when 6 men beat him down. In an apartment when 9 men tried to finish the job. Rocky chose to fight. Chose to stand. Chose to win. Not because he's special. Because he refused to accept any other option. Because quitting isn't in his DNA. Because protecting what matters is worth any price. Any risk. Any sacrifice. That's what makes a champion. Not the belt. Not the fame. Not the money. The willingness to fight for what's right even when you're scared. Even when you're outnumbered. Even when you're hurt and tired and everyone expects you to quit. That's when champions are made. In the moments when quitting would be easier. When staying down would be safer. When walking away would be smarter. That's when you stand up. That's when you fight back. That's when you prove you're more than what anyone thought you were. Rocky Balboa proved it. In 72 hours. From victim to victor. From beaten to unbeatable. From threatened to threatening. And the message echoed through South Philadelphia and beyond. You don't mess with fighters. You don't threaten families. You don't think you can take what isn't yours without consequence. Because somewhere, someone like Rocky Balboa is watching. Someone who refuses to quit. Someone who fights back. Someone who proves that courage isn't about never being afraid. It's about being afraid and fighting anyway. That's the lesson. That's the legacy. That's what 72 hours taught Vince Carlucci and his crew. Taught them permanently. With broken bones and criminal charges and the knowledge that they chose the wrong target. They chose Rocky Balboa. And Rocky Balboa doesn't lose. Not when it matters. Not when his family's on the line. Not ever.